Wrestling was fine. A little bit of this, a little bit of that, but whatever. Got really into pro wrestling. Got really into Saturday Night Live for a long time. I was a class clown. um, just high school was high school. Just cheap pot and beer, like everybody else. Um, but yeah, I couldn't wait to grow up, like be an adult. Um, I I didn't really have much use for high school. I wanted to go into wrestling and I wanted to go into comedy. Um, but those were my passions. I had friends. I had friends, party buddies mostly, but was never really alone. And when I was, I didn't mind it. That's how it was the rest of my life too. Uh, I went right to work for WWF champion Bob Backlund. Um, Worked for him for 2 years while working, bullshit, hourly retail jobs. And the same thing, I went to work for former ECW television champion Jason Knight for 2.5 years after Bob. And then, same thing, just retail jobs. And then I went to work for uh, PWI 500 rated wrestler Joseph Von Schmidt. Um, so it was from the summer of '99 into the summer till like the spring of 2003. So whatever that is, 4 or 5 years. Um, that was my run in wrestling. Um, and then I did later on in life, I did 3 shots for Mario Savoldi, but the passion was gone by then. The love was gone, and my work suffered, and I wasn't gonna make an ass out of myself or hurt his organization by not being all that I should be or could be. But um, I think by the time I was 22, my dad had enough of me, not bringing in any money and wrestling pretty much going nowhere. So um, I quit the wrestling business and my retail jobs. Um, yeah, I got an apprenticeship up in Vermont to blow glass, and we were making drug paraphernalia and glass adult sex toys. And smoking lots of marijuana, as you would imagine. Um, we'd spend our weekends in New York City, and uh, I started to lose interest in Vermont. Blowing glass in Vermont, I wanted to do it in New York City because that's where the comedy clubs were, and that's ultimately what I wanted to do eventually was be in New York in the comedy scene. Um, and yeah, it just kind of ended. I think we all just kind of went crazy and got fired and went on with our lives. But just a little random blip on my resume. Um, uh, yeah, like I said, I went crazy in Vermont, and I needed help, help that I couldn't afford. So I went on disability, um, and I had a lot of time on my hands. So I decided to make a viral sketch comedy troupe and get us into film festivals and local nightclubs and tried to break into the comedy scene in Manhattan. we worked some, you know, civic events, and we did a couple things with a couple amusement parks, and um, but that was my life for a couple years. Was just, I mean, welfare and comedy, you know. Um, and I went to California to just scope it out. I mean, ultimately, I mean, I, I guess you could say that my parents didn't have the money, like, to help me out. Like, I wasn't a trust fund baby, if that makes any sense. Like, um, I guess that's kind of an excuse, but I just the way my life was, I couldn't make it work, and I came back home to Connecticut and just started doing student films and extra work and all that kind of stuff, and it just kind of had a pause on it. You know, the acting, the comedy, and whatever goofy shit I was doing just kind of, you know, was a little bit of a timeout. So um, that was probably around the age of 32. Uh, Nothing, to be honest. The last 12 years of my life, I've been locked in my studio apartment, just outside Hartford city limits, and in exile. And I've just been motherfucking the universe ever since. And, and most normal people would be like, well, why have you been doing that? How have you been doing that? What is the point of that? I have no idea. I just know that I'm consciously, after this, I'm gonna, you know, stop doing that, and just enter my life, re-enter my life, have a life, and um, just be done with all this. And if I have no plans of going back to Hollywood, I have no plans of making any more videos. I have no plans of doing any extra work. I have no plans of doing anything in the arts ever again. I'm pretty sour on it, and that's it's probably all she wrote. And yeah.